congregate in the name of God. But how many days a week or how many days a month? Do they meet once a month to congregate in the name of themselves? Do they meet once a month to congregate in the name of us or something like that? That's my only issue with religion, is I feel lots of times religion holds people back. And if you look at Europeans, you know what I mean? Until the Enlightenment, the Europeans the reason they sped away from everybody else, you know what I mean, in technology, is because during the Enlightenment they started developing sciences and put that God thing to the side. And the main reason the Africans got left behind is because of their undying belief in God. They said the Europeans came and we had all the gold and they had the Bible. And then when they left, we had the Bible and they had all the gold.
Well, you know, I can't verify none of that shit. All I know is throughout my lifetime, I just believe what I believe in. God, there's somebody created us.
All right, Green Eye.
All that other shit is just a bunch of felonious nonsense. All right, Green. You know what I'm saying? It's just a bunch of felonious nonsense, man. It's like, you just gotta, like I said, you gotta take all the information, do your research. I mean, the internet is out there. People push shit out every day, all day. It's up to you to read through lines and the bullshit and everything else in between. You gotta take it in for what it's worth. Like, I don't mess with churches. Like, I was forced to go to church, Catholic Christian church, since I was 6 to like 12. You know what I mean? I didn't like it. You know what I mean? And then after I got older, I was like, I got kicked out of Catholic school. I'm like, I'm not doing this. I was like, I'm not doing this no more. Like, I don't even believe none of this shit. I was like, if there's, you know, like, if miracles happen every day, then how come my grandfather died? How come my cousin got shot in the face? And, you know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of doubtful shit, but then you got to reflect back on, like, how am I breathing this air? I'm walking on this planet, and I don't see gravity or oxygen. You know what I mean? So it's like, you got to question shit, question things. And then you got to put it in perspective to where it's like, it starts making sense to you. Like, I don't follow no church. I was a Muslim and all that, man. I was a Muslim, and they was like, oh, all white people are devils, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yo, my mom's is white. My grandparents are white. Like, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? You out your fucking mind? Like,
yeah, that was an Islam.
So they left the whole 5% nation alone just off of that. Just off of that. Yeah, I was right in Harlem, the temple in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? I was there all the time. I mean, it's like, after they said, oh, all white people are devils, and what? Yo, there's no way you can tell me white people are devils, because my mother's white. My grandparents are white. All the other side of my side that's not black is white. So I can't relate to that. You know what I mean? Like that. So I had a different upbringing. I had a different visual. I had a different scene of a whole lot of other things, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just started investigating for myself.
That's what anybody got to do, but at least you investigated, you know. And see, lots of people don't even investigate at all. They don't question life as it is. You know what I mean? Lots of times it'd be hard to convince them. It'd be hard to convince them that anything is wrong with life, or that anything, or if they know that anything is wrong, that anything can be right with their life, because they feel powerless. You know, they have no knowledge. They have no knowledge of themselves, and so they feel powerless. They feel weak and puny. You know what I mean? When really we are all giants. When our mind is something amazing. When you start investigating the way that the human mind works, from birth till death, just the ways in which it does things, the ways in which a child sops up so much information in the beginning, how fast the brain is working, how many things at one moment your brain is doing. Your brain is doing 100,000 tasks at any given time. At one time, right now, you're breathing, your heart is pumping, your liver is cleaning your blood, your veins are carrying that blood throughout your body. You can feel some pain. If something was to hit you, you immediately feel it. All of your nerves are on point. Your eyes are working. My mouth is working right now. My breath is coming up out of my lungs are working to push the breath up out of my ears are working, my auditory, all these things, and these processes. They say right now, with all of the computer technology, people are so impressed with computers and whatnot, but our strongest, our most powerful computers, I'm talking about the computers that are under the Pentagon and in NASA, our most powerful computers can barely compute at a rate of a retarded child, a retarded toddler. You know what I mean? They didn't even say a toddler, they said a retarded toddler is processing more information than our strongest computers. They're just processing other information. That's why sometimes you get these savants where the person will have a slight disability, but they'll be able to do something extremely well. Because now their mind, instead of focusing on doing everything else well, instead of focusing on balancing well and speaking well and everything, their mind is able to focus on that one thing. And other things don't work too well. And that one thing they do incredibly.
I'm not impressed with computers. I'm not even impressed with the technology that we have today, because they're actually what people don't understand is they're feeding us this shit so slow that we're never going to catch up. By the time we do catch up, it's going to be too late. That's the thing people don't understand. That's the thing people don't understand. Like the technology they feed us, the technology that they're rationing to us. So far behind. About time we do catch up, it's gonna be too late for the pure fact, all Area 51 and all this other extra shit from whatever, from the Mexico shit to the Arizona lights, all this craziness that people are like, oh my God, I think and I saw. Well, if you seen a light go like this, then fly over there and disappear and come back, and a half of a split of a fucking millimeter second. That's not no government shit. This is something that's not from this planet. Like, why can't that register in your fucking brain? You that slow, you that stupid, or you do not comprehend? It's like we as a human race are really so far behind. We are so far behind. It's retarded. These computers, this is just old technology that they're rationing to us. Like when they come out, oh, new space age non-stick motherfucking frying pans. Come on, like what? Really? You see, in the movies, what you see? You see plasma guns, shit that'll shoot somebody and dissolve their whole body like this, right? I'm quite sure they have it, but they're not gonna put it out in the streets. They're not even gonna give it to the army, because anything that goes to the army, sooner or later it gets leaked or it falls into civilian hands. So they don't want that shit happening. Chaos. There's so much shit that we don't have and we probably won't even get a hold of. There's so many things that they're talking about, they're trying to do, like the Matrix Highway. What you know about the Matrix Highway, where you can get in your car, press a button, say home or wherever you want to go, and the speed would be 270, but there would be a black flask in front of you, will allow you to interact with the internet or watch a movie, because the speed would be so traumatic or dramatic that it'll scare human beings, so they say. So instead of you sitting in the car seeing yourself going 270 miles an hour, they'd rather distract you with your little frail brain and have you watch a movie, because the ride would probably be so smooth where you could watch a movie or interact on the internet, be wherever you need to be in a matter of minutes or. Like, come on.
Yeah, they're going to start. But the United States isn't going to be the first country with that. The United States probably won't be the first country with that. Just now, yesterday, Obama had a meeting with the head of transportation and a couple other people, and they discussed giving a $50 billion immediate stimulus to infrastructure. You know what I mean, and rebuilding our roads and whatnot. And then at the press conference afterwards, they were discussing we do a third of what the European Union is doing as far as developing our infrastructure and public transportation system. But Japan and China, forget it. It's like going into the future. That's what Mos Def said when he goes over there. He says he feels like he goes into the future. What P. Killer talking about is there's going to be sensors. There's going to be sensors implanted in all of our roads. There's going to be sensors in all of our roads. And then the cars are going to be able to read the sensors and just move around on their own. I was explaining it to somebody, because you said the Matrix Highway, you didn't really say how the cars would actually, you know what I mean?
Recognize where they was at. How much? Where's your brain at? The Matrix is, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, the Matrix, a highway, the ground, where the cars, I self-explanatory. I self-explained it. Cars will go 250, 270 miles an hour without you having to drive or touch. All right, let's just say what is that movie? iRobot, similar to that shit. You know what I mean? Look at the movies. That's one thing people don't understand. Like those so-called futuristic movies. It's like, oh, I love sci-fi for the pure fact I know what's coming, and that's why I watch these movies. Because the shit you see on certain movies, they're rationing certain shit out to you. You see motherfuckers with the they do the screens like this with the computers. They just waving their hand, little gloves, or not even gloves. Just press a button, like little plasma screens that just pop up, and you'll just wave over them, just swipe and do all that. That should be here soon, maybe 10, 20 years from now. But they're just rationing this shit to us. We should have been had all this technology. But they think people can't handle it, and some people probably can't. Motherfuckers grew up in
them sci-fi movies back in the day where like they had shit like where you look at somebody and communicate through a handheld device type shit, and that shit is really
That's what
real.
I'm talking about, Trey.
You know what I mean? That shit is really real. You could really take a fucking, iPhone 4 and Skype from that motherfucker. Even this shit right here. We sitting here having a conversation. We in 8, 10 different places, and we having a conversation like across the fucking country. You know what I mean? Like that's some crazy ass shit.